What's up, everybody? It's Keefy here from Ghost Cult Magazine, ghostcultmag.com, and I am here with the incomparable Tarja here in New York City. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great, trying to wake up. But anyway.
Trying to wake up after the...
cold New York.
It's freezing, it's raining, but we're having a good time here in Midtown Manhattan here at the Sir Henry Penthouse Hotel. And Tarja last night performed at the Gramercy Hotel, supporting her brand new album, Act 2, out now on earMusic. Amazing show by all accounts. As you said, you're trying to wake up. Welcome back to America, first and foremost. It's been a while.
It's been a while, yes. Thank you for having me. Seriously, I'm having a great time. Great time. Great show last night. Great crowd and fantastic feeling. I mean, obviously you always get tired on the road. That's natural, but it's been such a fantastic welcoming to US. It's really nice.
Lovely. And again, I think the anticipation for this album and this tour here of the States has been very high since it's been, as I said, quite a gap since your last visit here. And hopefully not such a long break till you're back again, selfishly.
Yeah, that's for sure. I hope so. Yeah.
Right. But love the set list last night. I got to take a look at it. And, of course, the band is always amazing. What kind of preparation do you go through before starting a big tour like this?
Well, physical and vocal. I mean, as I am a lyrical singer, I really have to work hard. I'm still, still really training daily basis vocals. And it's because of the lyrical training, it never really ends. That's my way of being, being an artist like I am. And the physical part goes along with that. I mean, I passed the 40s, so I'm not that chiquitita, young girl chick anymore, who can handle the long tours without any physical problems. So I need to take care of myself. So it's it's constant preparation for what's coming up. And since I knew already a long time ago that I have a really tough ending of the year, like a lot of touring to do, so I've been training a lot.
Working hard. I seem to recall from my musical past that especially for soprano, the voice really comes into fore, and you sort of fine tune your instrument almost like a violinist as you get older. So take heart. You're getting better with time for sure.
Yes, I think I am. To be honest with you, seriously, I feel I'm in the best physical but also singing condition at the moment. I am
amazing
at my best, and I feel. I think of course, the life changes you along the way. What you experience in a way. You carry those experiences within you. Otherwise, it wouldn't make any. It wouldn't make any sense. You appreciate the things that have happened to you, and you really carry them along with you. So, for me, it's been such an incredible journey to accept that I am not perfect. The thing is that I'm trying to be. I'm a perfectionist for sure. I'm a perfectionist, and when it comes to my singing, always on spot. I need to be on spot, and that's hard job because my audience is also aware of it, and they are also seeking for it in a way to see, she's perfect. We'll see a perfect performance. So, right. but in a way, I also have forgiven myself that okay, hey, I'm just a human anyway, after all,
Right.
But it's a hard job.
No, of course, and it's great to one, care about the fans and try to give them a great show, but also to hold yourself to a high standard. You do see some artists let themselves go a little bit, which I get can be disappointing, but also I love that take on self-awareness and forgiveness. Important.
It is very important. It is absolutely important. I mean, there are certain things you can't do anymore with when you get older, but you need to accept the fact. I think the rock and roll life of today, in general, the rock and roll, it has turned from all the rock and roll life that was in 70s or 80s into health life on the road. With many bands, many artists, it's like that. You really seek for the things you want to eat or drink every day, and you need to have a gym around, and you to, as far as I know, the people that I've been working with or I've seen being on the road, other artists, they are doing, they're really working hard to keep it up.
Right, we can't party anymore like we used to, and certainly it's important to, especially at this level and for the type of music you do, your instrument is everything, and it matters, which is great. I can't recommend deep tissue massage enough myself.
Tell me about it. Do you know anybody good here around?
I do. I know some masseuses in the city. I will recommend a couple.
Wow.
When we get off camera.
Yeah.
Or I will plug them in the description also, because that's what we do at Ghost Cult. We support everybody, underground music, underground massage therapists, everybody. But yeah, supporting Act 2, amazing, another amazing live record. Really, I was kind of doing my homework for this interview, of course, and you've put out like 10 records in less than 15 years. It's kind of mind-blowing to me, plus your previous half of your career, and we're just getting warmed up here. It seems like you work all the time, but we were just talking off camera about family life and your work-life balance. So what is it like? Do you sort of always working on the Tarja brand, if you will, and music?
Yes, I'm a workaholic. My listeners, I think they know me as a workaholic person already. But work is my love. I am privileged to be able to work with the love of mine. I mean, if you think of people, the majority of us, we can't do what we really love. So I am really grateful that I can work with my dream. So yes, I've been very productive in the last years, and but I'm enjoying the balance that I'm having nowadays as a lyrical singer, but also as a rock singer. So I've been finding that it's been hard to really find the harmony between my classical music activities and the rock activities. Obviously, the priority is within the rock still because it takes the majority of my time. But nevertheless, I've been doing lots of classical music projects, and they are the ones that really keep me... It's a bad word. It's a word like being sane in a way, in a good condition, because they really make me work hard vocally. And so when I get over those projects, I'm always ready to hit the rock stages again. And they live within me, those two worlds. Very different, but they live within me, and that's why I've been productive, because I feel the harmony. I enjoy the harmony.
Oh, that's lovely. It occurs to us, obviously, that your career, again, is ever evolving and changing, and there's no boundaries. You could do anything you want next, or as we row along here. But I think about so many artists, and even a whole subgenre of artists that you've inspired and helped really promote just with your own career. How do you feel about some of your peers? Are there any other singers in your peer group or in the next generation that you like and listen to in your spare time?
Wow, listening music. What is listening music? For me, when I am, as I said, that I'm working 24 hours, I'm working at home, and my mom for a 6-year-old daughter. It's also always like it's a 24 hours job, seriously. But listening music for me comes to the point when I really need to relax, or when I'm driving my car. And that kind of moments I'm listening music, or when I'm really seeking for inspiration. I'm very grateful for my husband that he's putting music all the time on. Like, he's putting music. We are listening various kind of music. We have a huge collection of records at home, like from metal, from rock, but from pop, from classical, from soundtracks. Soundtracks for me are still the music that inspires me. When I'm writing myself my own songs, then I'm listening soundtracks a lot, like days and days and days and days and days. On my airplane travels, I'm listening soundtracks. And that's the thing. Vocals or singers, to be honest, is still for me the old great, like Kate Bush, singers that are Tori Amos, different kinds of singers than myself. They are inspiring me, those great, powerful women.
Awesome. We love great, powerful women, and as are you. Any particular soundtracks come to mind that are on your current playlist for this trip? Or
Well, I'm still looking forward the last work from Craig Armstrong that I ordered from Amazon. But Craig Armstrong is a British film composer, really nice, really talented, and I'm a huge fan of Hans Zimmer. Still, I have hopefully all of his collection. Hopefully, I have. I might be wrong, but I hopefully have all of his collection at home. Hans Zimmer is a very emotional. His latest works, they haven't been that melodic like the Gladiator soundtrack. That is still one of my favorite ones forever. It will remain like as it is. But nowadays, all these dark soundtracks from Hans Zimmer, they are still having the emotional drive. All the going there, it gets you. Without that music, the films wouldn't be that emotional at all. If you just check out the picture without the music, it won't be the same. These guys are amazing.
Oh, Hans Zimmer's fantastic. One of my favorites too. A lot of sad cello music in the Hans Zimmer.
Cello,
always the emotional.
That's why cello is in my as a part of my live setup. Is a cello. Cello is like a human voice.
It is,
but it's just more melancholic instrument. And when I was a child, I always wanted to learn how to play cello, but I couldn't. I was born in a very teeny tiny village in Finland, and music was all around. The Finnish kids are usually, it's a very common that every child plays one instrument. It's very common in Finland. It's like a part of our being. But I couldn't find a teacher to teach me cello.
No.
So, yeah. But I think it was a blessing in a way.
Right, of course, lucky for us.
Yeah, but
we got the singer.
But I have a cellist in my live setup. Max Lilja has been playing there for more than 10 years with me.
Right. I'm glad you mentioned that because we were talking about this earlier, that it's kind of unusual that the longevity of your regular band is you have very, several decade-long associations. It must be, help make it easy for you, very comfortable.
Definitely.
Not just to play music with, but you have to be comfortable around people to spend this much time.
It's a family on the road, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's very, very important to me. Obviously, for me, I've gone in a long way already in this business. So you don't want to waste your time with the bad people around. Just
right.
Like
no time
that.
For bad actors is what I'm saying.
No. You want to be with the good people that are having a good heart is as important to me as the talent that they endure, really.
Well said.
Yeah.
Very nice. Let's talk a little bit about the album because certainly the album has influenced the tour and the set list is partially drawn from the album, of course. And you have, such as I said, a tremendous body of work now as a solo artist, 4 albums and counting, many EPs and unique releases, and now several live albums. So this new Act 2 is marvelous. I love the sequencing because I, as a person that goes to live music, sometimes 7 days a week, the sequence of a show is like a movie, is like a book. It's chapters, right? For you, it's, performance, benefits also, but really love maybe even more than the first one, and they were separate in different records, and we'll talk about that also. Very different records, but Act 2 is marvelous. Maybe one of my favorite things you've done. So, cheers on that. And definitely. What about obviously helping produce the record, sequencing the song list, is certainly helps color the experience for the listener. So, how was it for you?
It was a lot of work, actually. People might think that. Working or making production for a live album won't take that long as for a studio record. But for me, it is as important record as any of my studio records, because working for Act 2, first of all, took me months. If you think about it, it's not just a live video. It's like a arty kind of way of production with all the post-production involved and all that. And plus the pictures and picture selection that I chose from thousands and thousands of pictures that were sent from the fans. I wanted my listeners to be in part of that work of mine. I always kind of want to have them part of my work because I know that today taking pictures, I love myself photography, and when you go to perform and I see cameras all around and people are just having their telephones on all the time, and so people are taking pictures everywhere. the videos are uploaded already before even I get to hit my own bed in a hotel room. They're already there. I can check how bad I did. But no. But I mean, the work for Act 2 really took me like 6 months, daily basis at home, working on the edits. First the music, then the video, because it's like 8 hours and a half of material, including all the festivals and all the additional stuff that is there. But I enjoyed working on it. Obviously, in some point, I really hated checking out my own wrinkles, you know. On my big fucking screen at home, but you know, and I'm very picky about the as I said, I'm a perfectionist, but I'm so goddamn happy that I can do it on my own. You know, there is nobody telling me what should I do or how should I do. I'm working on my own.
Right. Well, there's a comfort in film. We used to refer to that as the Auteur Theory, right? You get to guide and direct every element from the beginning through to the end of a project. And certainly, especially when you look at the deluxe packaging of Act 2 from earMusic, the book, as you mentioned, the fans from the photos, the video packaging, it's got your fingerprints all over it, everything.
It's me, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely from you, which is terrific. And then certainly, as I said, this body of music you've created, I think about the medleys is a great idea. I think more artists should do this when you have many albums and over a long time. You should, it's creative, and I think it's fun for the fans to, get a little. If you can't do these in your entire catalog, it'd be exhausting for you to play more than an hour and a half every night. I think it's wonderful to have a medley, and certainly you have choices to choose a medley of your own solo stuff, as well as obviously the fans are ravenous to hear some of the older Nightwish material. So how do you choose those songs? Is it what's fresh in the set list, or we've played that full song for many years now, let's move it over to the medley? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those artists that I really like working on different versions of my own songs. In general, I'm not afraid of making an unplugged version or acoustic version of my own song, because when I hear some other artists doing that, it's always interesting, because the songs kind of they get their new life through making the other versions. Like I just checked out some fan covers earlier today, and I was like, what the heck? People hear and feel the music so differently, every one of us. So making a different version of your own song, it's a nice challenge always. But I choose the songs in the medleys in a way that emotionally makes sense and is making a good show. And obviously, when it comes to Nightwish covers, for example, nowadays I've enjoyed singing those songs, because when I was recording them, I was young and I was perhaps in a completely different level of ability of singing at the time, struggling in a studio and struggling even more in live performances because of this lyrical and rock singing and the changes and all that. Finding the comfortable singing, the way of singing was taking me a long time. So nowadays when I sing those songs, I'm having a great time, because I feel good, I am more free, and it's like a liberated from everything. It's a good thing. So yeah, just going through the huge selection of songs that is in my lovely library of songs in my history.
And speaking of, I know we have a couple of big anniversaries for your career this year. One of my personal favorite records was Oceanborn, of course, and that's I believe early December it'll be 20 years, which just seems amazing to me. It must seem crazy to you.
Getting older. That's all.
You can't fight it.
No, I can't fight it, and I'm happy about it. Yeah.
Right. But would love to hear. It was great for you to include some of that material last night and on this tour, and certainly perhaps hope to hear more of it in the future as you change the set list. And again, the live show continues
changes will be there.
Evolve with you and with their fans as well. And speaking of people doing other songs, obviously your covers are very distinctive and unique. I have to say, as a major James Bond fan, I love the Shirley Bassey the Goldfinger cover. I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Am I the first? I can't be.
No, I mean, but that song, I have a nice story about it, because I was invited to sing in a very big TV show in Finland many years ago, like maybe 10 years ago, the same song. Okay. And I was thinking, it was like a Bond evening or something, and I was struggling with this song. I said, oh my God, I'm just not ready for this song yet. But it kept on bugging me all through all these years. I wanted to go back to that and give it a try. So I felt very happy that, okay, now I can go for it. I can have a fun with it. I can have my power on it, my way, okay? Not the Shirley's way, which is incredible. She's incredible. But it was a nice kind of like a going back. You know, I had to work on that song, make it on my own in a way, after struggling with it.
It's marvelous.
I'm a Bond fan.
Oh,
so.
how amazing! Bond 25 and 26 are in the works. I would love to hear you get offered to do a Bond theme song.
Oh my God!
An original.
Tell me about it.
There are so many great ones, but that's a terrific one and a terrific choice, and certainly one of my favorites on Act 2. A little bit more. You just performed. So back here in the States, you just performed at the very prestigious and well attended, sold out every year ProgPower USA in Atlanta. I heard raves from my spies there about your set. They were really excited for you, and packed room basically to see you there.
Very nice.
So and
15 years anniversary.
Yeah, I know. And also not to mention that it's kind of funny how your music crosses all these different boundaries. So for some fans, it's not unusual that you would be at ProgPower. For other fans that might enjoy another era of your career, they might that's very strange. But to me, I was like, oh, perfect. Like in my mind, it made perfect sense. So wonderful for you to get welcomed there. So well. It's different than your own show, a festival, of course, and you recorded part of Act 2 at 2 humongous festivals. So festivals are definitely a different experience than a tour that you're.
It's always a challenge. Festival is always a challenge, but it's always an opportunity as well, because you get to play for people that not necessarily are there for you only. I mean, they came to see many other bands, and then they might get to know you and might even like you, and so every festival is an opportunity. I've been very blessed to be able to see all the aspects of from a performing artist, performing in a small clubs and performing in a ice halls and performing in arenas and performing in a smaller and huge scale of festivals. Like one in Act 2, there is this festival, Woodstock, that was more than 500,000 people in one day in front. Those kind of experiences, you kind of, they're very unique, and you kind of really need to mentally prepare yourself in fronting that kind of crowd. But on Act 2, there is also London show made in a London Metropolis Studios for a bunch of 20 people, hardcore fans, right in front. Breathing, every breath you take, they were breathing with me. So it was like, wow, that was even harder. That was really hard. So intimate concert, and but absolutely amazing. After all, really nice experience.
That's great. And obviously you've done the intimate shows before, and they've been documented as Act 1 was. But really, obviously a small room is even maybe less forgiving than a giant concert hall or a theater like last night. Gramercy Theater here in New York was a vaudeville movie theater, and now we're lucky to get so many metal shows at that venue and other kinds of artists. But do you have a favorite American venue that you always love returning to?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Tell me about it. Oh, my God. BB King's?
Oh, just
I like that. I like that. No. I like that here in New York. I always have many nice memories from there.
Yep. I remember the BB King show. BB King's just recently closed, and perhaps they will reopen. Their sister venue is the Sony Music Hall. It just opened, and we were there a couple weeks ago. It was lovely. Okay. But hopefully they come back, because we saw many great shows at BB King. So glad you mentioned that. I think a lot of fans will love to hear that. It's a little bit in the past, but another track, I love your take, the Ave Maria project. And certainly Ave Maria is, as a classical fan, as a former student, it is one of the most beloved and well-known songs in the world. And when you do a song that is so well-known and so interpreted many times over by many people, even if it's something you with your mastery can handle, it's got to be a little scary, um, because it's a song it's in the consciousness of music fans.
Yes, I mean, or working in any cover is always scary in
Real.
that sense. It's always a challenge, but I do love the challenges that covering an own song gives me. Yeah, it's just, I mean, the music is talking to me. It's just that. It's the music, the emotions driving me. And I cannot just sing at all without pouring my heart to music. And when it's right, it's right. It feels right, it goes like that. I ended up writing my own Ave Maria as well because I was making this huge research for this Ave Maria album. It was the research took me a longer time than even really the production of the album because the whole album was recorded live in one Finnish church. It was the first time ever experience for me to really perform live with the musicians and recording, and that was it. 2-3 takes in every song, and that's the record. And very scary moment for me to listen the takes afterwards and say, okay, that's it. So leave it. That's it. It's like you never get to do it that way anymore.
Right.
In a Beatles times, everybody was playing around in a same room and everybody recording. I would love to get to that. I mean, because I have a brilliant musicians nowadays rocking with me. They are great. I mean, the acoustic set we yesterday played, it's like every night is different and every night is maybe not perfect, but music is not perfect. I mean, nobody's perfect. So, but this Ave Maria thing is like, is the whole spirit. It's a spiritual experience in a way. I'm not a religious person myself. I'm a spiritual person. And in that way, it was very nice to go through that very challenging record. And I'm singing every year. I'm doing Christmas concerts. I'm doing classical concerts. And I'm performing my own Ave Maria for the people. Very nice experience always.
Lovely. Speaking of, we'd love to have you return to America and do some of the festival Christmas concerts. That would be wonderful. I know it's a very big thing in Europe, especially Central and Eastern Europe.
Yes.
The history of the Christmas holiday as we know it,
Yes.
and festival season music concerts. We'd love to have you here to do
My
that.
God,
if
to
it was,
perform with the symphonic orchestras is really, I'm doing a lot of concerts like that in Europe, and not only Christmas time, but other times of the year as well. And it's always amazing.
Nice. Would you ever consider perhaps another holiday tribute album, a Halloween album, Easter perhaps?
Have you seen my last record, the Christmas
Yes.
one? The Dark Christmas
Yes.
record?
Yes.
Isn't it spooky
It's
enough?
A little spooky. It's a little spooky.
Yeah, I loved working on that. I really loved working on that Christmas project because it's done like a soundtrack, like a movie soundtrack, Tim Burton kind of a
Yes.
thingy. Yeah, but I have a live project like that going on, which I'm doing in Europe. I'm touring with this album. Actually, Christmas times I'm having now in a dark Christmas concert, so I'm doing all this spooky stuff there. I would love to do the spooky stuff over here too, and so please.
Oh, you would have a
one day.
huge audience for it. Believe me, people would flock to it.
It's really nice because it's so dark and people are still, they come with their kids, come with their parents and the grandparents, and they're all like, wow. It's really dark experience.
Nice. Well, Christmas is a little creepy.
Yeah,
sometimes
it is.
Krampus and St. Nicholas coming down the chimney and sneaking in your house and
No, but
leaving
Christmas,
stuff and taking stuff. It's a little weird,
no, but
but
seriously,
it's a lovely holiday.
I made the Christmas album for those that are lonely. Christmas is not a happy time for everybody.
That's true.
It's been done like that. It's been, all the marketing around and all the jingle bells around and it's not jingle bells for everybody.
Right.
Definitely not. There are so many lonely people over here, and when it hits Christmas, it's very miserable time for many.
True.
So music is there to cheer you up.
Definitely, and we're big supporters here. It's something we talk about a lot with artists, not just self-care, but care of others. If you're struggling, please don't hesitate to reach out to your friends or family, or even if you think people don't care, people do care. You
They do.
matter. You're important.
Yeah.
And music can help you if you're having a tough time. So
Has helped me.
it's helped
a lot.
us. We have this tour till the end of the year, and as you said, a very grueling tour schedule. Is there anything else you can talk about yet for 2019, or too soon?
New album?
Yes, I was
Yes.
going to ask.
Yeah, new album. I've been writing a lot of songs. I've been writing in the meantime before hitting the road. I was writing a lot of songs at home. I'm still, working on the lyrics and all that, finishing it up. But I need to finish the album writing until the end of the year, because January I'm hitting the studio already for the production. So next year you can expect a new rock album. Yeah.
All right, amazing. We'll be looking out for that. That'll be wonderful. High on our list, perhaps. So, once again, Tarja, thank you so much for spending some time today with us. Fans, please go get Act 2 out now on earMusic. Support great music like this. Go see the tour. You haven't toured the States a lot lately. Please come out and support this tour. Once again, it's been our pleasure to chat with you today. Thanks so much for spending some time here with Ghost Cult Magazine. I'm Keefy, and we're out.